Hi scholars, so today we're completing Module 3, Lesson 6. Let's get started with our learning intention. Thoughtful mathematicians use the distributive property as a strategy to multiply and divide. So I'm going to start with the distributive property since we've already seen these other vocabulary words a few times. The distributive property is essentially when you're breaking apart the numbers that you're multiplying in order to make it easier to multiply. For example, if I don't know what 4 times 7 is, in the example that I have here, I can break apart the 7 to be 5 and 2 because those are easier numbers to multiply by 4. And then I multiply both of those numbers by 4. 5 times 4 and 2 times 4. And then I add those products to get the final answer. I can do the same for division, and I'll show you that today. You can go ahead and pause so that you can read the rest of the vocabulary words that we've already seen a few times. And pause again to read the division vocabulary. Right, so first we're going to do multiplication, then we'll do division. So it says label the tape diagrams, then fill in the blanks below to make the statements true. So I have 7 times 7, and I'm breaking apart 7, well, one of the 7s because they're both 7, to be friendlier numbers. So notice that I keep the second 7, but the first 7 has been split to be 5 and something else. So if I look at my tape diagram, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups, and they each have 7. That's why that first number says 7. So 7 groups of 7, that's 7 times 7. And they split it to be 5 groups of 7 on this side, on the left side, and that means I have 2 groups left over on this side. So that's 5 times 7 and 2 times 7 instead of doing 7 times 7. So I've broken apart one of the numbers to be 5 plus 2, and I'm multiplying both of them by 7. So let's do the 5 times 7 first. Well, I know I can combine 5s for that one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So 5 times 7 is 35. 2 times 7 is easy because that's basically 7 plus 7, so that's 14. But I'm not done. Just because I have these two answers doesn't mean I'm done. I now have to add these two separate products to see what they add up to for my final answer. Remember, because 5 plus 7 equals 5 plus 2 equals 7. So I have my 2 groups and my 5 groups. I want to add them together. So 4 plus 5 is 9. 3 plus 1 is 4. So that means that 7 times 7 is 49. So I want you to go ahead and try this one. So first identify how do they break apart the 6, and then go ahead and answer each part and add up those products to find the final answer. So pause now and do what I just explained, then press play to check your work. All right, so you should have already solved. If you're watching now, please make sure that you finished. If you didn't, please pause so that you can finish in order to check your work. All right, so I have 5 on this side, and I'm trying to make 6. There's only 1 left, so that means this side is 1 times 7, because 6 is the same thing as 5 plus 1. That's what they made it to be. And again, all of these groups are 7, so I have 6 groups of 7. 5 on the left side, 1 extra 1 on the right side. 5 times 7 we learned from the last problem that it was 35, and anything times 1 is itself, so 1 times 7 is 7. My last step is to add these up. 35 plus 7 is, well, 7 plus 5 is 12, regroup the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, so 6 times 7 is 42. So let's look at a division problem. So here I want to break apart 56 to solve 56 divided by 7. So I see they broke apart 56 to be 35 and something else. To find out what that something else is, I'm going to subtract 35. 6 minus 5 is 1, and 5 minus 3 is 2. So that means 21 divided by 7 goes on this side. So I'm not done. I still don't know what 56 divided by 7 is yet. So I'm going to solve these two partial quotients to find my actual answer, my actual quotient. So 35 divided by 7 is 5, because I remember in the other lesson, another part, 5 times 7 is 35, so the opposite is also true. And 21 divided by 7, let's see, let me count up by 7 to see how many times it takes me to get to 21. 7, 14, 21, that's 3 times. So 21 divided by 7 is 3. So my last step is to add up these two partial quotients to get my final answer. 5 plus 3 is 8. So that means that 56 divided by 7 is 8. So what I did was first I tried to figure out what the other part was by subtracting the total with this part. Then I divided both parts of my number bond. I got those answers and I added them to see what my final quotient was. So go ahead and try this one. Do the same thing. You're going to find the missing part. Oops, sorry. Find the missing part, divide, and then add up your parts. So press pause now, then press play when you're ready to check your work. Again, pause now, press play when you're ready. All right, so 54 minus 30. 4 minus 0 is 4. 5 minus 3 is 2. So 24 divided by 6. Now I want to divide 30 divided by 6. Let's see, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So that's 5 groups. And then 24 divided by 6. Well, I noticed when I was counting, when I got to 24, it was 4 groups. So 5 and 4. That means that 5 plus 4 equals 9. So 54 divided by 6 equals 9. So the whole point of the distributive property is to make the numbers easier to solve. If I don't know what 54 divided by 6 is, I could break apart the 54 to be two numbers that are both divisible by 6, right? So if I pick any random numbers, it's not going to work. The numbers I pick have to be able to be divided by 6. So I know 30 can be divided by 6, and then whatever I get left over will also be divided by 6. So it's very important for division. It can't just be any random numbers. For addition, it can be any number as long as they add up to the number that you started with. For example, 6, 5 plus 1 equals 6, 5 plus 2 equals 7. The numbers could be random as long as they add up to the number that you're breaking apart. For division, they have to add up to this number, but they also have to be divided by the other number that you're trying to divide. For example, if I were to pick 30 and 26, it wouldn't work because 30 can't be divided by 7 evenly. That's what I mean by they have to be able to be divided by the number that's being divided. All right, so in your problem set for today, you'll have similar problems. You won't have to make up the numbers, so the numbers will already be given to you like it was in this one, so don't worry about that. But I wanted to make sure that you knew that if you ever tried that strategy on your own with a different number, you have to make sure that the numbers you pick are also divisible by whatever is being divided, in this case 7, and the other problem 6. Okay? As always, if you have any questions, reach out to me on Schoology or Hangouts. Bye, guys.